this is a course summary for M92, which is Insurance, Business and Finance. Do you want to give us a breakdown, Grace?
It's a big one because it is a core module, and so we have 10 chapters altogether. Now, just to kind of take you through what you can expect from this particular module, we've got the structure of the market, and that's the market as a whole, so it takes into consideration probably lots of different things that you've looked at certificate level, but just builds upon those. On our on-demand courses, we have all of the first chapters for free, so you can look at that at your leisure to see whether this is something that you want to jump into right now. Then it starts to talk a little bit about management and management of insurance companies, and generally the roles and responsibilities of the board and the various kind of really senior roles within insurance. Then it talks a little bit about business planning and the control essentially that the management has over the company and the type of culture that they want to develop and envelope within the company, as well as the corporate governance side of things. So it does really talk about some quite high level strategy-based scenarios. As you start to get into the middle of the book, they talk a lot more about the functions within the insurance organisations. So they focus on, the different side of things that you wouldn't necessarily have met in a lot of detail before, like actuarial, risk management. They talk a little bit about sales and marketing as well. And then this is where it starts to get a little bit tricky. Kind of the middle, latter part of the book goes into accountancy, and that's accountancy procedures, but also things like balance sheets, income statements, and the actual how accountancy is done within insurance companies, as well as the standards that are set at a very high level that need to be adhered to in the UK under UK regulation. So don't be put off by this. If you've done LM3 at certificate level, that will help you a lot because a lot of that content was also kind of introduced to you there. So you'll start to pick up some of these terms in a little bit more detail. Then as we get onto the latter part of the book, we look at claims reserving in a bit more detail, then financial ratios, and then finally, towards the end of the book, we look generally at the financial strength of insurance companies and how they're rated by companies like Standard & Poor's and Moody's and so on.
So this is a compulsory unit, although slightly different to some other compulsory options. You can do this one or 530. So just some important things to note there. We tend to see people who do a degree in business get an exemption from 530. That often makes them think, I don't need to do M92. It's a bit of a gift actually if you do M92 because you can do both. You can do M92 and 530. So if you have done a degree in business, you will find a huge amount of duplication in this module, so it's worth you looking at doing this one straight away. Those of you that are deciding which one to do, either or, I'd say if you really don't like exams, then go on and do 530. At the same time, you might find you're doing so many modules at that CII level, it's nice to have some at this level. So actually my recommendation is to do M92 and do 530 because it's going to get you a good stand-in ready to do that module. You might also find there is a huge amount of duplication between M92 and 990 as well. So if you do this one as a diploma unit and you go on to your advanced diploma, then 530 and 990 are modules that you'll probably already have a good grounding of knowledge for after you've done this module.
In terms of the exam, it's actually what I call a hybrid exam. So you have coursework and you also have a multiple choice element to it. So for the multiple choice element, you have 25 standard multiple choice questions, and then 5 case studies, each comprising of 5 questions. So the case studies, if you've seen them at certificate level, have 5 questions that are attached to that particular scenario. That has a 65% pass mark, and you have 90 minutes with which to do the actual multiple choice exam. As far as the coursework's concerned, these are 10 short answers, so you need to get 120 marks out of 200, so 60%, and they range from kind of 10 mark questions to 20 marks to 30 marks. And so you'll start to see kind of what they look like in the guidelines when you get those coursework questions given to you.
And we have a free video on our YouTube channel that gives you a breakdown on how to approach diploma coursework. M92 is worth 25 credits at diploma CII level. And the average pass rate for diploma insurance modules at mixed assessments is 91.2%.